In America, getting a fishbone stuck in your throat and going to the emergency room can cost you 300,000 new Taiwan dollars. A simple cup of bubble tea costs 200 NTD. A plate of Ding Tai Fung fried rice runs 600 NTD. Eating out casually can easily set you back 400, 500 NTD, and that's considered cheap. High prices are one thing, but public safety is another serious issue. Hundreds of shooting incidents happen every day, and nearly 40,000 people die from gun violence each year. America is also the country with the most widespread drug problems in the world. In many videos, American streets are littered with trash, and you see drug addicts everywhere, shuffling around like zombies in an apocalyptic movie. Because of this, many American YouTubers and content creators have made videos saying they don't want to return to the United States. Taiwanese and Chinese medical care is cheap, public safety is good, and daily life is convenient, making it far more livable, they argue. Not just influencers, many Chinese people living in the US complain heavily on social media about America.
Yet, despite all the criticism, this same country attracts about 2.6 million legal immigrants every year. Even Xi Jinping sent his daughter there. So what is the magic of America? Why do so many people flock to it, even though it has so many problems? Simply put, actions speak louder than words. People's feet are always more honest than their mouths. Their bodies reflect their true inner thoughts. If America were truly that bad, those people would have come back or renounced their US citizenship long ago. If China were truly that great, Americans would be flooding into China right now. Let's dissect what exactly makes America so appealing. Cost of living. Expensive on the surface, but manageable with US salaries. To make it easier to understand, all prices below are converted to new Taiwan dollars, NTD. In America, a cheap fast food meal, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Panda Express, costs around 300 to 400 NTD. A regular restaurant dinner might run 700 to 800 NTD. Just eating out could easily cost 40,000 NTD per month. Of course, America is huge and prices vary greatly by location, but overall, US prices are roughly 3 times higher than in Taiwan.
Medical costs are even more shocking. As mentioned, getting a fishbone removed in the ER can cost 300,000 NTD. In Taiwan, an ER visit might cost just 1,000 NTD. So purely from a price perspective, America can feel unbearable. However, this is only if you look at it through the lens of Taiwanese or Chinese salaries. In 2023, the median salary across all occupations in America was about 2 million NTD per year, 4 times higher than Taiwan's 500,000 NTD median, and a staggering 13 times higher than China's 150,000 NTD median. When you factor in salary, the cost of living burden in America is not as heavy as it seems. In fact, it's often lighter than in Taiwan.
Take the iPhone 15 as an example. An American needs about 5 days of work to buy one, while a Taiwanese person needs 22 days, and a Chinese person needs 64 days. What's expensive in America is anything involving human labor. Food delivery, restaurant meals, car repairs, hiring plumbers or electricians, house cleaners, etc. Anything that requires people's time and skills costs a lot. On the other hand, daily necessities and food are often cheaper because America is a major industrial and agricultural powerhouse with massive production capacity and efficient supply chains. This is a reflection of national strength. Items like Dyson vacuums, Levi's jeans, high-end shampoo, beef, and milk are often comparable to or cheaper than in Taiwan. Car prices are even more dramatic. Luxury German brands, Benz, BMW, Audi, can be 1 to 2 million NTD cheaper in the US than in Taiwan. Taiwan and China are the opposite. Human labor is cheap, which is why eating out is so affordable. In Taiwan, over 70% of people eat out for most meals. In China, the situation has reached deflationary
Levels with 10 NTD all-you-can-eat buffets offering dozens of dishes. This emphasis on value, CP value, and low profit margins is exactly what many foreign YouTubers praise about Taiwan and China. As a result, Americans have developed a strong DIY culture. About 80% of American families cook dinner at home.
In Hollywood movies, you see characters like Donnie Yen's tough guys not only fighting, but also fixing cars or pumping their own gas. This is a true reflection of American life. You either do it yourself or pay a high price for someone else to do it. Healthcare. Expensive, but not as hopeless as portrayed. Medical care in America is indeed expensive. The 300,000 NTD Fishbone ER story is real, but after insurance negotiation, it was reduced by 60% to about 100,000 NTD. With proper insurance, the patient only paid 150 USD, about 4,500 NTD. Yes, US healthcare is costly, but there are safety nets. Obamacare, Affordable Care Act for those under 65, and Medicare for those 65 and older. It's not the completely desperate situation some online posts claim.
Summary on cost of living. Services involving heavy human labor cost 3 to 5 times more than in Taiwan or China. Everything else is comparable, with salaries 4 times higher than Taiwan's and 13 times higher than China's. The relative cost of living in America is actually reasonable, often better than it appears on the surface. Housing, much more affordable relative to income. Compare Taipei with Silicon Valley. A Taipei engineer needs 15 to 20 years of salary to buy an apartment in Taipei. A Silicon Valley engineer needs only 6 to 10 years to buy a house in the area. The gap becomes even larger when you account for actual purchasing power. In America's Midwest rural areas, houses are incredibly cheap, often cheaper than rural Taiwan. This means Americans can achieve homeownership much earlier, saving years of time and money. Regional differences matter enormously. America is vast. Conditions vary hugely by state, city, and even neighborhood. Tourist areas, business districts, wealthy suburbs, and rich enclaves are generally good.
Inner-city poor areas and certain minority-concentrated districts are much worse. The difference can be night and day. Chicago's Magnificent Mile, full of luxury hotels, Michelin restaurants, and iconic architecture, has excellent safety. Just 10 kilometers away in West Garfield Park, one of America's most dangerous neighborhoods, 17 people were shot dead in a single year. YouTube searches for the area show constant robberies and shootouts. Even walking there during the day is risky. Palo Alto, home to Stanford and Facebook/Meta headquarters, is a wealthy, safe area. Just across the highway in East Palo Alto, poverty created serious problems until recent improvements. There is no denying that Taiwan and China have better overall public safety than the US. However, safety is not the main factor driving immigration.
Throughout history, Han Chinese crossing the Taiwan Strait centuries ago, the Puritans on the Mayflower in 1620, or American pioneers heading west, immigrants leave familiar environments for better opportunities and living conditions. They believe the new place offers a better future. This is the famous American dream. If you work hard, you can make money and live a better life. Income and opportunities, the real magnet. A Walmart cashier in America earns 17 to 24 USD per hour, translating to roughly 35,000, 50,000 USD annually, about 1 to 1.5 million NTD. This is 2 to 3 times higher than Taiwan's minimum wage equivalent for similar entry-level work. American companies generally offer better benefits and clearer career paths. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, registered nurses earned a median of about 210,000 NTD per month in 2023. Higher than many doctors in Taiwan. Doctors in America have a median monthly salary of around 630,000 NTD. In Taiwan, nurses average 42,000 NTD, and doctors 156,000 NTD. Beyond pay, America emphasizes labor rights. Nurse-to-patient ratios are reasonable, around 1 to 5. Work is focused, weekly hours are 36 to 40, and overtime is paid at 1.5x. No endless paperwork, mandatory social events, or unpaid overtime. For ordinary workers, America offers decent pay. For high performers, the sky is the limit.
In Taiwan, earning 4 to 5 million NTD per year is near the ceiling for most professionals, engineers, doctors, etc. In America, top software engineers in Silicon Valley, Wall Street bankers, physicians, lawyers, and CEOs can easily earn over 10 million or even 30 million NTD annually. This is why America attracts global talent. Entrepreneurship, the garage startup culture. America has a mature startup ecosystem and investment environment.
The iconic "everyone has a garage" story has produced countless world-changing companies. Many complain about high U.S. taxes, but let's compare. In Taiwan, income over 4.7 million NTD faces a top marginal rate of 40%. In China, the top rate is 45%. In America, the federal top rate is 37%. America uses a progressive tax system where the top 50% of earners pay 98% of federal income taxes. For someone earning 2.5 million NTD, solid middle class in America, even in high-tax California, combined federal plus state taxes are around 21%, lower than Taiwan's rate for similar brackets. There are other taxes, sales tax, property tax, etc., but overall, America's tax burden is moderate compared to European welfare states. Low-tax countries are usually either tax havens or unstable places with poor governance. Heavy taxation often correlates with advanced European nations. America strikes a reasonable balance. Social mobility and freedom. America's free market economy, limited government, and high social mobility mean hard work is rewarded.
This applies to both blue-collar workers and top talent. Politically, you can criticize leaders freely without fear of being visited by authorities, something that strongly appeals to people from China. Consider two parallel lives. Xiaolong in China, high school graduate working in a factory for 12 hours a day doing repetitive physical labor. Income is okay, but there's no real future. At 40, he's still a factory worker. He complains mildly on WeChat about government propaganda ignoring people's livelihood. Someone reports him. Police detain him for 10 days for slandering national leaders. After release, he becomes silent and depressed. At 60, he's still working with almost no savings, surviving on meager pension, dying alone. Xiaolong, who immigrates to America at 40, he starts with restaurant work, delivery, and manual labor. The work is hard, but pay is stable and living standards improve. He can send money home. He can criticize Trump online without consequences. He meets a Chinese girl, starts a family. Their children benefit from American education, integrate into society, graduate college, and build good careers. The second generation of immigrants often thrives even more.
Taiwan example. Jensen Huang, founder of NVIDIA, has said his achievements were possible because his father had the foresight to immigrate when Jensen was 9. Had he stayed in Taiwan, he might have been an ordinary engineer at TSMC instead of leading the AI revolution. Convenience. Taiwan's convenience comes at a cost. Many say America is expensive, inconvenient, and unsafe compared to Taiwan's dense convenience stores, cheap and easy medical access, and good safety. But Taiwan's convenience is built on low-wage, overworked labor. 24-hour convenience stores exist because staff salaries are low. Police are also understaffed, but Taiwan handles it through overtime and exhaustion. The beloved national health insurance system has kept drug prices so low that many foreign pharmaceutical companies left, leading domestic firms to cut corners. In America, high labor costs reflect respect for professional work. People should be properly compensated.
Policing is also a service funded by local taxes. Wealthier areas pay more taxes and receive better protection. Healthcare is similar. Insurance and personal responsibility play big roles. It sounds harsh. The poor face natural selection. But forcing the successful to subsidize others through heavy redistribution has its own moral and practical problems. Research shows poorer people often face obesity and health issues from cheap, calorie-dense, but nutrient-poor processed foods. Taiwan faces similar problems despite universal insurance. Cheap, convenient, high-calorie street food, fried chicken, bubble tea, stinky tofu, etc., has contributed to obesity rates around 50%. By contrast, Japan maintains one of the world's longest life expectancies and lowest obesity rates, around 4%, through balanced, nutrient-rich diets, fish, vegetables, fermented foods, etc.
Conclusion: the American dream is still alive. America has real problems. High costs for services, uneven safety, expensive healthcare, and visible social issues in certain areas. Yet, it continues to draw millions of immigrants because it offers something rare: opportunity proportional to effort. Higher salaries, faster wealth accumulation, homeownership within reach, world-class rewards for top talent, entrepreneurial freedom, political liberty, and social mobility create a powerful pull. People vote with their feet. Despite the complaints, even from Americans themselves, the inflow of ambitious, hardworking people from around the world tells the real story. The American dream isn't perfect, but for millions, it remains the best available path to a better life.